Hey guys, welcome to Truth Guitar Method. This is Joel. You can call me Joel, son of Cesar. And yes, my dad's name really is Cesar. Welcome to week, whatever it is, but it is lesson 7. And today we are doing an introduction to improvisation for beginners. If you have never improvised before and you're advanced, then you want to start here. If you have never improvised before and you're intermediate, you're going to want to start here. If you're a beginner and you've never played guitar, you do not want to start here. You got to go back, man, to lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I will see you again here at lesson 7. Now, before we continue, I gotta do this. I have to do this because this is how we grow. And by the way, we have been growing about 15 subscribers per week. Yes! If you have not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe down below and hit the little bell. Bing! That is for your benefit so that your guitar journey doesn't suffer and you can see my videos as soon as they come out. Also, like the button and don't be afraid to comment. Did you like the video? Did you not like the video? Answer the questions that are in my videos. Let's get started, man. Lesson 7. Boom! I love this lesson because if you were my student here at this studio, then we go through, lesson 1 through 7. And on the 7th lesson, literally you come in here and we put everything together and we jam. And what jamming is, that's basically improvisation. So we have our first portion of our routine, which is left hand warm up. Our second portion of our routine, which is the right hand warm-up. The third portion of our routine, which is syncing your hands together. And this is super important. This is a part you do not want to skip. And then we've got the fourth section of our routine, which is scales. And we've got our fifth section of our routine, which is chords. And then we have section 6, which is music. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to push the music, the 6th one, to 7. I had not given you this other bullet point in there, which is improvisation, because it wasn't time yet. And right now it's time. Okay, so we got 1 left hand, 2 right hand, 3 syncing, 4 scales, 5 chords, 6 will be improvisation, and then 7 will be music. Now, there are techniques and things like that that you'll need to know, but right now you need to understand the concept of improvisation. So I've actually provided a very simple improvisation track on YouTube. It looks like this. Go find it. Or you can go to truthguitarmethod.com and then go to the audio files, the audio tab, and you'll see it there. Now, what you heard me jamming on right now, that's the jam that I created. I just kind of put some chords together so that you could practice improvisation. Now, I was kind of doing all kinds of stuff, nothing fancy, right? But I was making background music. So here's what you got to do. you kind of have to understand what improvisation is. Now, we all know that improvisation means, creating something out of nothing or creating something on the spot, just like that. So improvisation is kind of like lying, making stuff up on the spot. When we were kids, we did this a lot, right? Our parents would catch us doing something. At least that's what happened to me all the time. And to get out of it, I'd lie. Whatever came into my mind, no matter how stupid it was, right? And maybe you did the same thing. That's improvisation. You think of it on the spot. Or they hand you an item and they say, do something with this item, and then you use it. Or at school, you're not paying attention, the teacher puts you on the spot, and then you go up to the board and you fake your way through it. Faking your way through it is kind of like improvisation. I'm not saying improvisation is fake. I'm not saying improvisation is like lying and all those things. I'm just saying they all kind of do the same thing, is which they trigger something in your mind that makes you want to create something on the spot to get out of the situation. Now, in improvisation, you'll have chords. In reality, you're not really trying to get out of something. And we've got these 4 chords right now that we've learned, right? C major, A minor, D minor, and G major. So with those 4 chords playing in the background, the pentatonic scale that I taught you fits those chords, okay? And so what we're going to do is we are going to try today to teach you how to improvise. Now, improvisation is something that has to kind of grow out of you, and it takes a while before you can move quickly or do fancy stuff on the guitar, because you kind of have to understand what the whole fretboard is, what positions are, where are the different C's, where are the different D's, where are the different sharps. You kind of have to understand that all. But you need to start doing it right now to start building that technique. So let's review real quick the pentatonic scale. So the pentatonic scale, now by the way, I taught you the C major, A minor pentatonic scale. But in reality, remember, I taught you a pattern, and that pattern starts on the 6th string, and I taught you the pattern on the 5th position. And that pattern was 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. That's the pattern. That's the A minor, C major pentatonic scale. But you can move it around. Like if I go all the way up here to the 12th position, we're looking at G major, E minor pentatonic. Right? If I go to, I don't know, the 7th position, then we're looking at D major, B minor. Right? Wherever you move it, it depends what notes you're playing. But the pattern stays the same. So by you learning this pattern that we already did, you kind of unlock the whole thing. It's just a matter of learning what notes are where, what majors are where, what minors are where. So this backing track that I've provided you with on YouTube or on SoundCloud or on chooseguitarmethod.com, you're going to play this backing track. Now, improvisation with guitar, for beginners, you need to think of it like a dialogue, like a conversation between 2 people, okay? And these 2 people are the high notes. That's the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. Okay? And the second person is the low notes. Okay? So if you think of it as these 2 people, you think of them kind of communicating back and forth. Now, as a beginner, I don't want you to start just... because that's what it's going to sound like, and it's going to sound bad. We're going to start slow. And the key is rhythm. Here's what I mean. So as the music is playing, you kind of have to have this groove, right? So as the music goes, you need to move your head. or your shoulders, or your eyes. Whatever it is to get that groove going. And then pick a note in the pentatonic scale, preferably the higher notes. So here's the pentatonic. Okay, I'm gonna pick a note, and all I'm gonna do is groove on that note. That's it. You can do all down or all up, all down. The thing is, the improv won't happen unless you feel that groove. If you don't feel that groove, it's not going to happen. So I want you to play the music and play one note. Preferably, we're going to start with the higher strings in the pentatonic scale. And I want you to pick one note and just play along to it. If it's slow notes, fast notes, bouncy notes, it doesn't matter, but it has to groove with the music. Just one note. Trust me, this is going to push you way far in the improvisation world. So let's try this again. I'm going to show you and give you an example. So here we go. Just one note. I'm going to change the note. Let's go here. All right. The beauty of the pentatonic scale is all the notes that I've given you will sound good with this track. Then you need to pick two different notes and swap between the both of them, always feeling that groove. I'm going to rewind the track a little bit. So here we go. So two notes. So I'm going to pick two of the high notes. I'm going to pick this note here, and I'm going to pick this note here. So I'm going to hang on one of them and then switch on a dime. Here we go. Watch. Two notes. Can you guess where I'm going next? Three notes. And there's no quick movement. What I want you to do is repeat the note over and over. Right now you're starting to get a groove of what you're listening to. Now out there's tons of backing tracks. You can go online. You don't even have to use this one. You can go find another one that's in C major or A minor backing track on YouTube. Play that sucker and then play along. One note first, two notes, and then three. Now after the three, that's when it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So let's do three notes. Here we go. So in the whole pentatonic scale, I'm going to pick three notes. Here we go. It's my first note. Second note, here it comes. Third note. A combination of the three. Watch. Nothing major, just feel. I'm not even thinking. I'm just feeling. All right. Now, here's the hard part. So you have this feeling of a groove, right? With one note, two notes, three notes. I didn't do this beforehand. I'm literally improvising as we go in this video. Easiest video I've ever made, okay? So improv with one note, improv with two notes, switching back and forth, always feeling that groove. And third note, okay? Now, the next one is more complicated because now you want to try and have a dialogue between the high strings and the low strings. So I'm going to show you. So here we go. So I'm going to pick three notes. I'm going to pick this note here, and I'm going to pick this note here. So my first note. The beauty of the pentatonic scale is all the notes that I've given you will sound good with this track. Then you need to pick two different notes and swap between the both of them, always feeling that groove. The next one is more complicated because now you want to try and have a dialogue between and the low strings. So almost think of it like two people talking, right? Think of it like the first person says, you know, I really want to go to the movies. I really want to go to the movies. And then the other person says, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Let's see how that fits. Here we go. Change it a little bit. No, I don't think so. Again, I really want to go to the movies. No, I don't think so. Change it a little bit. Okay, so basically what I'm telling you is find a phrase and every syllable of every word needs to be played out as a note. So for example, the first person might say, I love tacos. The second person says, I hate tacos. So I like tacos. So you need 4 notes. I like tacos, or I like tacos, or I like tacos, I like tacos, I like tacos, like tacos, whatever, right? But you find this sentence and then you reply with the low strings. And that's going to teach you to go back and forth between the high notes and the low notes. Now remember, if you're an advanced or intermediate, you already know how to do this. You don't have to do this because you're already amazing. This is for beginners. So if you're a beginner, again, you're doing 1 note improv of just grooving. 2 notes. 3 notes. Whatever, as long as it's part of that pentatonic scale. And then the 4th thing you're going to do is you're going to have that conversation. So let's think of something. Let me think of something. Well, let's just do that I like tacos one. I like tacos. The other person says, I don't like tacos. So remember, high strings, low strings. I always start with higher strings. I don't know. You do whatever you want. It's improv. There's literally nothing wrong you can do with improv. It's just because it's improvisation. Whatever you think of, you create, and that's it. That's the sound. There's nothing wrong with it. People will have judgment and they'll say, well, you kind of suck at improv. Or they'll say, oh my goodness, you're so good at improv. But regardless, it's improv. Whatever you do is correct. It doesn't matter because you're improvising it. Now stick to the notes, feel the groove, find that rhythm, and then play it. Let's try it again. I like tacos, right? I like tacos. I hate tacos. Here we go. So let's do I like tacos. Here we go. Let's change it up, different notes. Now, once you get the idea, create different sentences, different patterns, have a communication between a dialogue, right? Between the high strings and the low strings. The last thing you want to do, right? So, real quick review. First thing, groove on 1 note. 2 notes. Any 2 notes. 3 notes. And then you groove between high and low, creating a dialogue, right? And remember, if you create a sentence yourself, like literally whatever it is, I love driving. I love driving. 4 syllables. You can go something long. I like going to the mall and buying clothes. I like going to the mall buying clothes. 10 syllables. So I like going to the mall buying clothes. Whatever. Whatever your sentences are, you switch in between, have that conversation. The last thing is you need to exit all those thoughts and let your fingers just play, even if it sounds bad. Because in reality, when you improvise and at advanced level, you don't have time to create those things in your mind. You just move throughout the scale. So the last and final step is to just play, just have fun. No thinking, just play. Repeat notes if you have to, one note. That's 3 notes, and then have the conversation again. And then run through. Guys, that's pretty much improvisation. Now, this is a beginner level improvisation. You just got to practice it. So really what you need to do first is you got to warm up to this, right? So you got to warm up your left hand. That's step 1 in your routine. Warm up your right hand. Step 2 in your routine. Sync your hands together. Step 3 in your routine. Step 4, you can't skip because we're working on improvisation, is you do your scales. And so far you've got 2. You've got the chromatic scale, which you cannot use for this particular one. You're going to hit some notes there that are going to be really nasty. And then the pentatonic scale. Practice it really well. Know where your fingers are going, okay? Remember 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. On the 5th position, that's C major and A minor pentatonic. And then you want to work on your chords. Now, right now, we're not working on chords for improvisation, but I want you to continue working on C, A minor, D minor, and G major. Keep getting those chords really, really good. Then your step 6 has now been replaced by improvisation. Now, this is the most fun you're going to have, and also the most frustrating. Some of you are going to pick it up like this, and some of you are going to take forever. I took forever. I was lucky enough to have a really good friend. His name is Elias, and he kind of like took me through it, and I was like, I always wondered how people did that, and he was super patient with me until I was able to grasp the idea. But so again, step 6 is now improvisation. Remember, first 1 note, groove with the music, then 2 notes, groove with the music, 3 notes, groove with the music. Then the 4th thing you need to do is you split. Remember, high notes, low notes, have a little conversation, create a little phrase, 8 syllables, 4 to 8 syllable phrase that you can just kind of talk back and forth, and don't be afraid to change the notes. And then finally, you have to let your fingers free and do whatever they want. This will either be really good or really bad. Regardless, you have to do it. You have to practice it. And then step 7 is you self-explore your music. What kind of music do you want to play? This is something you have to do. I cannot tell you what kind of music you want to play. Guys, that's pretty much it, man. Improvisation is the best. I literally improv the entire video. The whole thing, because that's what improv is, man. You make it up on the spot. Now, I'm not making this stuff up on the spot. I'm just saying the whole thing is improv. All the examples I gave you is improv. Okay? Now, real quick, this is why you do not use the chromatic scale with improv or with this backing track that I created, okay? I literally want to throw up. That sounded nasty. So only use the pentatonic scale that I gave you on the 5th position. Guys, that's pretty much it, man. Pretty soon, lesson 8. Watch out for that midweek review. A midweek review is I'm just going to go ahead and show you my guitar routine with some improv in there. Okay, now you don't want to spend a whole hour on just improv, although it could be good for you because it's so much fun, but you want to do all the other things, improv, and then self-explore. You definitely do that self-explore. And then after you do that, you do your noodling, do whatever you want to do, turn on the distortion, turn it to high, annoy your family, whatever it is you want to do. Guys, there's one more video coming out soon for those of you who want to learn strumming patterns. That's coming up soon, so watch out for it because I'm going to teach you some strumming patterns that are super easy. I'm going to teach you how to create your very own patterns, your unique patterns that you want. Okay, so that's it. Go jam, man. I'll see you guys soon.